down a dry desert lake bed at over 150 miles per hour with more horsepower under your right foot than a whole corral full of wild stallions.
Or how's about this? You snake your way through a pine forest on a cow path with sand dunes that'll let you soar like an eagle.
Then climb up over 5,000 feet and fishtail through edge of your seat hairpin turns that'll have you intoxicated with adrenaline.
Only to come up to a vertical wall of huge boulders that you gotta climb like a mountain goat.
And all this in just 4 days.
Could this be your next vacation? Hi everybody, I'm Pete Bowman.
And I'm Angelo Viola. Welcome to this week's Outdoor Journal.
And welcome to Ensenada, Mexico.
Now, for the most part, this small Mexican city is your typical Pacific resort community.
But once every year, it hosts what could be called the greatest race on Earth.
You see, this is a starting point for the legendary and famous Baja 1000. Now, even though my amigo and I won't be participating in the race, we are, however, going to come as close to the experience as humanly possible without being professional drivers. It's called WIDE OPEN BAJA.
Now, you figure it's called wide open because of that wide open expanse of land we're going to get into? What about that wide open need for speed?
No, muchacho, it's called wide open because that's going to be the shape of both your eyes and your mouth throughout this entire trip.
Ay caramba!
Dateline LAX. Oh, by the way, that's me behind those cool Revos, trying to hide from those damn paparazzi. Hey guys, I'd give you a hand with all that heavy equipment, but I threw my back out signing autographs for the throngs of adorning fans that showed up at the gate this morning. Well, it could happen. Our heading is approximately 300 miles due south to the town of Ensenada, Mexico. So, of course, we have to cross the Mexican border. And like every other border crossing, there's border guards, which means we've got to do that, okay, sir, get out of that van while we check your bag thing. Or in this case, caballeros, doves y documentos, per favor, y bagallos abrios. Well, something like that. Now, I can understand what a border guard would be looking for if the car was coming out of Mexico, but I can't think of one thing I'd want to smuggle into Mexico. Now, this could get a little confusing. We're in Baja California, not the U.S. state that we know and love. This is California, Mexico. The geography may be confusing, but one thing I'm sure of, this is absolutely spectacular driving. There's no doubt this is Mexico, but it's kind of hard to believe that this could also be the home to the world-famous Baja 1000 and 500. I was kind of expecting, splashy signs saying, "Welcome race fans." This is everyday Ensenada, an unimposing Mexican seaside town. Everything from the architecture to the people to the cafes and bars say that this is unmistakably Mexico, complete with street vendors selling everything from leather crafts to jewelry. And what Mexican town wouldn't be complete without a mariachi band? I'm pretty adventurous all around, and that includes food. But somehow I can't put this local treat on my list of top 10 things to eat. If it looks like Granny's boiled pork innards, that's because that's what it is. Basically what we're looking at here is pigskin. Basically, you're going to eat a football if you eat one of these. Well, we could spend the next 3 days enjoying this wonderful cuisine, but I think we'll pass. After all, Pete and I are here to rumble, right, buddy?
Yeah, I think we'll skip lunch there, pal. The beginnings of the famed Baja 1000 can be traced back to endurance runs in the 50s. Crazy people would tear down the peninsula in unorganized races. The first sort of record was set back in 1962. Two guys on a pair of Honda 250cc motorcycles left Tijuana and 39 hours and 54 minutes later pulled into La Paz. The Baja 1000 is a yearly event now, but for those who want the thrill anytime, they call on a company called WIDE OPEN BAJA. These guys will take a couple of race fans like us on a hair-raising adventure that really feels like the real thing.
Now, as you might think, for an extraordinary operation like WIDE OPEN BAJA, you've got an extraordinary individual behind it. One of the masterminds, actually, that put it all together, Todd Clement. Sir,
Angelo,
welcome to the show.
Welcome to Baja.
My pleasure, and I'm sure I speak for my amigo as well.
All right, Pete.
Looking forward to it, buddy.
Ready for a good time, huh?
Oh, yeah.
The first obvious question I have to ask you is, what in the world would drive somebody to putting together an extraordinary operation like this?
Oh, thank you. It was kind of an aggressive mood, and sometimes I wonder why I did it, but I'll tell you what, when I was 9 years old, I came to Baja, and went to Ensenada, watched my uncle and Parnelli Jones and the likes of a few other guys like that take off the line, and about 18 hours later when they returned into Ensenada, some of them in reverse, some of them with 3 wheels, I was hooked. That was it. I thought, these are heroes.
Todd, you have participated in the Baja 1000, correct?
Sure, yeah.
And 500 both? Or?
Yes, I've won the 1000 once, the 500 once. Every once in a while I couldn't make it because of funds, but you always scramble to get back down here to Baja. It's the ultimate challenge.
Now, the key to this type of racing, too, as you will probably ascertain on your own here as the program goes on, is not necessarily speed, right? Although speed plays an important role, but also to finish the race. I mean, that is a race, and it's a challenge.
You see so many guys at the side of the road broken down, that's it, they're done. I mean, you watch them on television, that's it, the guys are done, so.
In practice, you're looking as much for the places where you can't go fast as you are where you can go fast. The guy that gets to the finish line first without making a major mistake, we've really done something.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Ange is going to drive.
I'm going to
co-drive.
That's what I've been told.
Tell us what each person has to do.
Well, the co-driver's in charge of all the controls of the car other than the shifter and the steering wheel and pedal. He's going to watch the gauges. He's going to look for signs that the terrain's going to change ahead. He's also going to do radio communication. He's going to make sure that the crew that's beyond the car, that's the one that's out on the road, making sure you guys get fuel at the next stop, making sure you have tires. Maybe you want something to drink. You're going to be that guy. He's going to do the driving. As you guys will see in the next few days, there's a lot more to this than driving cars and going through the bumps, and it's beautiful out here. We're going to go through pristine pine forest. We're going to drive on white sand beaches. We're going to go through small pueblos like Santa Catarina, and we're going to go through oasis towns like San Ignacio with the old Catholic missions. So there's something for the whole family there. As long as somebody's tall enough to get in there and co-drive with Dad. We get a lot of guys, they bring their fathers down here in their 60s. They enjoy it just as much as a couple of guys like yourself.
What do we need?
Well, I've got this for you. It's a driving suit, Angelo.
Actually, I look better in blue, buddy.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks a lot.
What color's that?
That's dark blue. I want this blue. Hey, listen, I'm driving today, okay? So don't start bugging me.
No problem, homie.
Okay, you two better learn how to get along because you got a little bit of time to spend together.
We'll do together. We'll do okay.
Buddy, thanks for the intro, and we'll catch you at the garage, I guess, and you get us into the cars.
Good deal.
Okay.
Let's go.
And it's off to the garage. But not just any garage. This is where the machines are housed. Bill Savage, the head technical director of SCORE International, designs and builds these vehicles. This is no pick up the groceries with the kids kind of car. It's got a 2-liter Porsche high-torque, high-performance engine and a light tubular frame for strength and more shocks and struts than you can shake a cactus at.
Our goal is to bring you the Baja from every angle. So we're taping down the cameras all over the frame. When we hit the desert, dust will be everywhere. So the tape will not only keep the cameras in place, but keep the dust out. The key to a good race is communication. So part of the check is the radio gear.
Coming up, more thrills and spills in a midway ride. And now, back to the outdoor journey. Welcome back to the little Mexican town of Ensenada, home to the Baja 1000, 500, and our very own Wide Open Baja. Our desert machines are ready and fueled up, but it's time to do a little fueling up ourselves. It's a good hearty breakfast and a chance to meet some of the other drivers. No pros here, just some guys who want to have fun.
I love the sound of a well-tuned Porsche engine in the morning.
But before we take off, a few last pointers from Todd. Important stuff like kill switches and what do you do if you get lost? Helmets here are a must. I know Pete trusts my driving, but even the navigator gets one.
Now to see what these puppies can do. Todd will be leading us in his truck, which he affectionately calls the sex machine, for reasons unknown. Anyways, he knows the road and its pitfalls. There's no flag waving us to start. Just pull off the road at a pre-designated spot and go. The whole peninsula is over 750 miles long and averages about 60 to 70 miles wide. This leaves lots and lots of prime racing space in the middle.
Nothing but cactus and a few of my eight-legged friends out here.
And it's hot. Africa hot.
There's another reason you don't want to get lost. Get ready, Baja, here we come. These machines can go up to 80 miles per hour on the hardpan and turn on a dime. Or should I say peso?
The machines are well engineered for flips with roll bars and such, but smacking into a cactus at 70 miles an hour is no fun.
Now, should something serious happen, Todd is riding shotgun and always within radio range. In the chase truck, there are spare tires, tools, and enough parts to rebuild a whole car. I guess it's kind of bad for business if you don't come back with all the drivers that you left with.
That was all right.
That was cool.
Is that suspension great or what?
Hey, Angelo, this is Todd. How you guys doing out there?
Oh, this is a blast.
All right. Hey, I'm just up the road a couple of miles. I've just passed a horse on the left-hand side, and right after the horse was a creek. You're going to turn left and go through the creek and on up into the mountains.
Woo! As tough as this is on the cars and my body, it's also a thinking man's game. If my mind starts to wander, I'll be picking horn toads out of my teeth. I've got to concentrate on the road and what's coming up at all times.
This wild road, eh? It'd be nice to be able to open it up, though, you know? I just don't know what's around that next bend. How's those gauges looking, buddy?
Well played.
We got everything happening here?
I don't know. I got it all under control, buddy. I got gauges I haven't even looked at yet. I got cameras. I got everything. Thank goodness Todd knows the way, because I don't see many helpful gas stations. The only way of identifying the course is the yellow ribbons and markings on the rocks. That's part of my job, to keep watch. We don't want to be doing a Wile E. Coyote over the cliff.
Rocks on the right. Real tight. Watch it. Angelo, I'm passing a little ranch on the right-hand side, and I'm probably going to make a left-hand turn pretty soon. You'll come to a Y. There's some ribbons in the tree. You take a left. Over.
Did he say turn left?
I wonder if these guys know where we are. There's no road signs out here. Obviously, you gotta be on your toes.
Hey, Angelo, I think we should have turned around and gone back to that Y where we went to the left. I think they may have gone right.
You got a feeling we took a wrong turn?
Yeah.
No way, there's no way.
We took a wrong turn!
And so ends the first leg of our adventure. Believe it or not, we've only traveled 60 miles, from Ensenada to Ojo Negros, and now we're on the lake shore at Laguna Hansen. Part of this adventure is how it brings total strangers together in such a short period of time. Up until a few hours ago, I didn't know any of these guys outside of Pete.
You guys have, you've all gotten the seat under you a little bit, and you've got some road time. We can talk. I mean, I really like to get you guys out right in the cars. So now that we've done that, I think you guys are working really well on the radios. I've only had to talk a couple of times. Wink, wink. But you guys are taking good care of each other, and that's the communication's what's going to get us to San Felipe the fastest. Because really, my goal is for us to go as fast as possible, safely, because I'll get bored just like you would if we were going slowly. Then there's the one last little point, and that is that Willie and I may see a cattle truck. And I'll say, this is Todd, I'm passing a cattle truck. The truck's going 5 miles an hour. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that, but it's going 5 miles an hour. Then all of a sudden you pass the cattle truck, and then the next thing you see is a horse out there. Well, geez, Todd, you didn't say anything about a horse. He probably stepped out behind me. So be aware that we're really driving for ourselves out here. This is it's not a wagon train. You guys are all a couple minutes apart. You're doing your own thing. Okay, have fun.
Have fun? I guarantee it. If the next leg of this adventure is anything like the first, it's going to be a blast and a half. And off we go. Coming up, the whole world is one big passing lane on San Mateo's Wash. And now, back to the Outdoor Journal.
Welcome back to Baja, Mexico. We've just finished the first part of our cross-country tour of this Mexican peninsula. Did I say tour? How about terror? Terror on 4 wheels.
We're heading for the San Mateo's Wash, a dry lake bed, but first a twisted trip through the pine forest. When you get this far off-road, you find the weirdest things. I didn't even know they had pine trees in Mexico. After a fast car wash, it's off to a local church and a quick drive-by prayer. God, I hope I don't get a flat out here.
Somehow, I don't think God heard you over the roar of those Porsche engines. The most common cause of a flat out here is hitting sharp rocks in the sidewall. They cut like daggers into the tire and destroy it. That's where you thank God the chase truck has lots of spares.
But the best thing about the chase truck is that it carries lunch. After 4 hours of eating sand and dust, it's kind of nice to get some real food into your gut. No rest for the wicked. And now for the moment of truth. It's time to let these machines really fly. The San Mateo's Wash. It's an old lake bed, but when it dried up, it left this huge flat space that just screams, drive fast. This is the place to do all of your passing. No white lines out here and no oncoming traffic.
And only a few spectators. This is where we really open things up. There's 3 big reasons why we're fighting for the lead out here. 1, because this is one of the few places that is open enough to pass. 2, you don't want to be in the dust wake of the cars in front. And finally, you really want to win.
Even though this is not the official Baja 500 with all those prizes and thousands of screaming fans, it sure feels like it out here. There's just something about man and machine versus man and machine that gets the blood rushing. Okay, Pete, I'll watch the road, you watch the gauges.
Mad Max, here we come.
Back to the asphalt and time to head to the hotel in San Felipe.
It's no camping in the dirt for us on this trip. After a big day at Baja, it's luxury all the way.
And now it would be cerveza time.
Cerveza time for the boys. I think so. Holy cow. Woo.
Oh, that was a piece of cow.
Okay, everyone, let's just jump in the water right now.
Wow, what a day.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Which car did some work over here today? Just, I want you to see that.
Well, if
Look
you're
at your car.
Well, wait a minute. Hang
Look
on.
at your car.
Hang on. If
Look at
you're
this car.
asking me who
Yeah,
was off the road
Lon, you gotta
more
nail
than
the
anybody
tire.
else, then I'm definitely going to agree with you. But if you're going to ask me which car made it through the course in front of everybody else and still maintained a certain sense of
Balance.
you know, then I'm going to point you to our vehicle. Nice job, buddy.
We won the trophy for the dirtiest car.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Where did you get all that? In that water?
First, the first, right when we took off at that farm, we went through the first puddle, and that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
It's the beginning of the end. That has got to be the wildest experience. I don't know what you guys, but
Oh man,
I mean,
Never
right,
experienced anything like that in my
incredible.
life.
you know, we've done a lot of things, but that definitely.
Thrill seeker's
Listen,
dream.
that was only 6 hours, and the Baja's 44.
Can you imagine?
I'm done.
The second.
That's right.
we have 2 more days
The
left.
second, we got 2 more
Oh, I
days.
No,
of
but they
this.
do it straight.
Oh, I know.
I
They
know,
do
but
it
we got
straight.
2 more days of this.
I'm
It's crazy. How did they do that?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you got
I'm big.
to understand these guys wait all year for that. You know, I mean, this is their thing. That's what they're so psyched up mentally. They got to be to get through there. You know, the first reaction is to use the usual superlatives. You know, great, unbelievable, out of this world, absolutely wild. Well, you know, you got to kind of get all those, put them in a trash bag, and throw them out when it comes to this stuff, because it is none of the above. There is not a word yet that will describe the fun of sitting in one of these buggies for 6 or 8 hours through the Baja. I don't care what anybody, there is not a word for it. Doesn't matter what anybody says. They have not come up with the word to describe the thrill of what we just went through. Just incredible. Just incredible. Hey folks, this is just the beginning. We're only halfway through the course, so join us on the next Outdoor Journal for the exciting conclusion to Wide Open Baja. You won't want to miss it.